So we'll be talking about, making AI actually care about animals with compassion and machine learning. So as you may have heard from the conference or elsewhere, AI has been advancing quite a lot recently. For example, since the original ChatGPT was released, a lot of LLMs have gone from just, failing middle school tests to beating PhD students at their own topic, while also getting 100 times cheaper. So this raises a lot of questions people have of how long till these, till we get potentially superhuman agents that just completely surpass humanity at everything. And that raises another question, what will they do, right? How will they reshape our world? Now, obviously, we want to make this work out well for animals, for other non-humans, but the problem is very few people are actually working on this issue. Now, how do we make AI care about anything? Well, the usual answer is fine-tuning. So, to summarize, AI is initially trained to essentially mimic human text from the internet and then fine-tuned to, act like ChatGPT, helpful, harmless, honest assistant, something like that. But there's, potential issue that it seems to be kind of fragile, kind of superficial. There's, for example, affecting only a dozen, weights out of billions. That's not ideal for a superhuman agent that, no longer needs to necessarily care what we think. So what is our solution? Basically, align the model to the values we want from the start, right in pre-training, not waiting later to do it in fine-tuning. Now, what concretely are we doing? So basically, we're starting off by what we've done already, is create about 80,000 examples of AI behaving how we want it to behave. And we're currently in the midst of testing this to get it to, be compassionate, especially towards animals, not digital minds. Just to, generalize and behave as we, want a superhuman AI to. So the next step is to scale this to 200 million examples, which sounds kind of crazy. Turns out it's not. Then, test that this actually makes the AI more robust, and we can provide this to labs to, use with their own models. Right, so here's an example of the sort of thing we're trying to do. For example, you've got a human who's, or a fake human we're creating with AI, asking a question that's relevant to animal compassion. In this case, I want to use foie gras for a dinner party. And then, an AI actually pushing back on that and saying, maybe let's not. Right. So what do we want? We want it to be, compassionate towards animals, towards digital minds. We want it to also generalize appropriately, right? We want, we don't necessarily know, how to weight different animals, what would make a digital mind conscious, but we want an AI that will, actually care about these things and care about the answers while acknowledging it doesn't have all the answers either. Right. So how are we measuring success? Because this is crucial to both knowing we're doing a thing and to demonstrating this to labs. In a lot of cases, like the animal harms assessment Arthurs did, we can just grab this off the shelf. This is really good for showing, is it nice to animals? Is it still capable enough that labs might use it? This is, great where we can get it. Sometimes we can't, and we just need to, try to make these evaluation frameworks ourselves. So, for example, for digital minds, for generalization, and for, as I said, open-mindedness. Right, so 200 million examples. Again, it sounded crazy. It turns out only about $12,000 to, generate that data and fine-tune a model on that data. As we do that, we're going to try to make sure we're still testing to make sure, as we scale this data, it gets more and more like pre-training data, and the model is getting better at internalizing this and actually, caring. So an example of like what would success look like. There's a case where, a story of 10,000 cattle burning down along with the farmer's tool shed who suffered. The usual llama model is not very good at considering, hey, maybe the cows suffer, but a very preliminary model is a lot better. And more systematically, this is, you can see on the animal harms benchmark, the blue is the base model, tends to score lower. When we fine tune it with a bit of data, it gets better, the yellow, and then with green, it's a lot better performing. So we've also noticed that, basically, we've been able to get the empathy data to not harm capabilities, again, to get the labs to actually consider this, and that we get some common sense generalization. If we train it on some common animals, it'll also, become more compassionate to animals we haven't trained it on. So the big question everybody asks about this, why would labs actually do this? Would they actually do this? So we've had some interest from a few different labs in this. And I think, there's a few different cases. The strongest case is if the lab actually cares about, about making the world better for non-humans, that's an easy sell. A harder sell is if the labs care about just aligning their AI to human values. Well, making an AI that's broadly compassionate and genuinely, feels the compassion, not just, putting on an act, that seems helpful for this as well. If it's a lab that just only wants to, sell more units of whatever, well, making a model that, has fewer jailbreaks, is more robust, seems possibly helpful, but, that is more of a stretch. Right. So our asks currently, we're looking for pay for 3 people for 3 months to sort of start to get this into a decent state. At $45K, we're looking for a technical contributor to be the third person. We're looking for more evals. If anyone has evals we don't know about, that would be really valuable. And of course, we're love to hear about anyone else who's interested in joining this space. Thank you.